Hefe, you're in my studio.
Yeah, I'm in the studio. Does it sound different?
Yeah, it sounds a bit like
Echoey?
scratchy. Yeah.
Oh, it might be picking up from something else. Let's see. Ah, yeah, it is here. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, there we go. Smooth.
Yeah, there we go.
Did anyone listen into the Polygon spaces yesterday? That was pretty cool. Love those spaces.
Yeah, I listened in for a little bit.
I didn't, but I saw somebody tweeting about it saying they got some alpha from Coder Dan, some Gotchi chain news or something, or just maybe it was news to them. Was there
Talking
anything?
about Gotchi chain.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, I think some of you guys might already know this, but I mean, I think it's pretty much common knowledge now that Ghost will be the gas token for Gotchi chain. But I mean, it's not super common knowledge. Obviously, there's a lot of people that don't know. Still,
Yeah,
they
it's
don't
worth
know.
repeating.
And then there was a little bit of mention of potentially, this is something very kind of still being researched, is using Ghost as like a validator delegator token as well. We can go into that a little bit. Still very exploratory at this time though, but that would be really neat. So you could basically stake Ghost and allow validators to earn more blocks based on how much Ghost is staked to support them. They do that with Matic right now, and a couple other chains do that. But so you don't have to actually be your own validator. You can like add power to the other validators that are out there and kind of share the rewards with them. So that's pretty neat.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah,
like a mining pool, sort of.
Right. I mean, there's no mining because everything is POS, but yeah, similar. Like,
Yeah, no, I just mean like shared like power shared reward.
yep.
Sweet.
I like how
Hardcore
hardcore.
says, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Functional single-sided staking.
You're kind of helping to power the network and secure the network by making sure that the best validators are the ones validating things. So if obviously if people like delegate their Ghost to not good validators, then it's not gonna end very well. But generally, I think what generally happens is people delegate to the best ones because those guys are the ones printing the most blocks, which is what you want.
Yeah, your incentives are pretty well aligned.
Yannick, how are you, sir? It's been a while since we've chatted. Hope you're doing well.
GM.
Would you want to come up and I don't know what you've been working on, but I'm sure it's cool. Love to get an update.
Oh yeah, he's working on a really cool guilds dashboard. I'd love to get an update on that.
Mm.
Well, it's more than a guilds dashboard, honestly. I think I should let Yannick explain if he's around. Working on guilds. Nice.
Well, we got some bugs coming in.
Oh, look
Looks
at
like
that
the
display
displays.
Yeah. It seems like this happens a
Yeah.
lot. It's a beautiful parcel.
It's nice.
We don't shouldn't have to keep resetting them every time we push an update. Yeah, Choina, the 3D Gotchi. Oh man, these are beautiful.
There's like a nice like ASMR track that goes with it too. I was
Yeah.
listening to it. I was like, that sounds so like peaceful.
It's very mystical.
Yeah, mystical.
Yeah. It's not just that it's 3D, it's the animation with it is so good.
Yeah.
That little whatever you call that little soundbar thing going across the glasses is just mesmerizing. Yeah, between the ASMR and the visuals, I'm like, this could put me to sleep or in a trance.
Yeah. Did anybody in here collect Zbot's special 3D Gotchi? I mean that seems highly collectible now. Seeing all these 3D rendered Gotchis now.
Was that the fake Gotchi?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I believe it also came with a physical, or there was some sort of mechanic at least to get a physical.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
had
I'm
to
not
own the
sure.
gem as well.
You had to own the gem as well. Okay, so you got the Gotchi and the gem, and then you were able to get the toy.
Yeah, if I remember right, I recall him saying there weren't many, or maybe I don't know how many, but very few that got the whole deal where he actually would go through the effort and 3D print uh, a physical for them. So I don't think many people collected. Maybe they weren't cheap. I remember the price was pretty high, but rightfully so probably. So those might end up being super rare.
Yeah, totally. That's what I was just thinking.
I see some comments in the chat from FaZe. Says these updates are dope and the fireballs are awesome. Yeah, I feel like this is the last couple of weeks, the various updates. They've really come together here to make some nice experiences. Going back to when the super chats went live, that really
Yeah.
changed the vibe. It's like love the super chats.
Yesterday was the first time I spent a decent amount of time in the arena live streaming for almost 2 hours. So I was hanging out with T-Bird, and I think there's 3 other gotchis that saw us live streaming and joined us, and they're hanging out in the arena.
Nice.
And it was just really fun to have these little battles and just chat on the live stream. I think we're there. Like we're at the point now where you can, like live stream for a couple hours straight and have like tons of content, like tons of things to do in the Gotchiverse. So
Yeah, especially now with the liquidators in the actual Citadel. Like it's really cool. You can have like liquidator killing parties, and especially once there's rumors that the mega lick is coming. It's on the way
ooh,
for the spending contest. Like that's going to be insane. That's going to be very powerful. It's going to take a lot of gotchis to take one of those guys down.
do you want to give us an idea of scale compared to the Proto Lick? Like Proto Lick's actually kind of hard to kill too. Like if you have one average
Yeah.
gotchi, it's not easy. So like, how did these
pretty much? Yeah, I would say probably at least like we have to play test it a little bit, but 5 times more. Like in terms of like health, probably
Yeah.
5 times as much, and then damage. I think they're pretty strong in damage. Like if we increase the damage too much, then it'll just kill everyone.
It should
But,
have a
it
rage
could-
attack where like every like 5 minutes or something. It only does it twice during its whole existence, but it just does like
Yeah.
a rage spin, and it's just like kills everybody, just wipes everybody
Yeah.
out. Everyone resets.
Oh, Al says if you make potions convenient, you can get potions.
True.
By the way, I mean potions are in the item shop. There's currently 99 of them. You don't really, I wouldn't say you really need them at this point, but they're there if you want. But they could be useful in other situations where there's like if you're in the arena and you want to just keep staying alive. But yeah, that could be useful for the Megalick.
I was thinking of this mechanic that you would have a liquidator that has a certain amount of it, or Protolick would have a certain amount of Alchemica in it, but it decays over the 10 minutes. So, when you kill it, if you can kill it quickly, you'll get more of the Alchemica, but it's almost kind of consuming it. And so, if you don't kill it, then maybe it's used up most of it, basically. The closer you get to the 10 minutes, the less Alchemica you get for, once you slay it. It's like adding a sense of urgency, You gotta kill it now.
I'm just sitting in the Citadel, just standing still and dropping a bunch of tokens around. It's really fun. You guys are eating them up. I'm gonna try to screen record this. It's pretty funny. Give me 1 second, guys. The feast will continue in a moment.
Yeah, season 2 is gonna be cool. This is kind of what I wanted. Like, this is awesome. It's we had season 1. It was interesting, but now season 2 is gonna be like, there's gonna be a gamified element to this whole competition. So yeah, I'm stoked.
I literally can't drop fast enough. Yeah, let's just make it rain hard.
I'm glad you're screen recording because I want to see this. This is just people chasing Coder Dan. You're just like throwing Alchemica out the back.
Here we go, guys.
Oh my god.
Conga line.
They'll be back. Yeah, let's run around.
Fill your bags.
Can't drop fast enough, but it's doing pretty well. Poor servers.
We need a Coder Dan radar blip just to follow Coder Dan. We need to geotag him.
That could be cool. Like homing beacons that you can pay for.
Yeah, like I want people to know where I am for the next 30 minutes, and happy to use a potion to make me visible to everybody on the radar.
That'd be cool.
Could be useful. Sometimes the hardest part is just finding each other. So,
yeah, I can agree with that.
All right, how do we pull No Futuristic up? He's in an Uber, leaving New York City. How do we get him up on stage? He should be able to bring himself up now.
Yep. There he is.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
GM.
When I mute myself through my headphones, can you hear me mute?
No, I don't hear you.
I mean, we don't hear you right now.
Yeah, so the mute works.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Not too much, man. I mean, we just had all these updates with the breadcrumbs, and we got Proto liquidators running around the Gotchiverse now. And then you got updates for us, right? You're running around New York City, NFT NYC, coming to a conclusion. Seems like it's gone pretty well, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would say also check out the block party recording from last night, because I was at the Aavegotchi Cryptoon Goons event in Williamsburg. So I streamed that and kind of had Lost Local jump on my little headset thing and talk to Gotchigang a little bit with Hefe.
Okay, how do we find that block party link?
I'm
I'd
dropping
definitely like to see.
I'm gonna grab it right now.
Yeah, it was a dope party. It was like we were chilling with a lot of Cryptoon Goons holders. I got to meet some IRL Aavegotchi gang friends at some of the different parties we went to. And then just like a whole bunch of Polygon people, like in general, games, developers, a lot of infrastructure. There was also a lot of VC money at the conference, which I found interesting. People looking for like I guess they want infrastructure as the play, which is when you're like, hey, we are building Gotchi chain, like they're like, what is that? I'm like, ha ha ha, come to the rabbit hole, Yes, it was a lot of fun. It felt more like Eve Denver than it did. Like if you've seen the images and pictures, it was more like a conference, like a business conference, less like like last year where it was just partying and people being crazy in Times Square.
I know that's my fault. I was bringing the party to Times Square. I'll put that one on me. No, I think I know what you mean. I saw your video, and it's like a little bit scaled back. It's less of the big pop-ups and some of that kind of I don't know, fun stuff. And I guess it left room for more serious networking. Is that kind of fair to say?
Yeah, well, what I mean is there were still big parties and fun stuff, but at the conference itself, because it was actually moved to the Jacob Javits Center, so it's a conference hall. So it was like more like Eve Denver, where all the speakers and everything is under one roof, versus having to move around from venue to venue during the conference itself. After the conference, because they shut it down pretty promptly at like 5 p.m., that's when all the events started happening all over Manhattan. So we went to 2-3 events at night, and then just jump around. So the conference itself felt much more business oriented than last year, where it felt more like a party.
That's very cool. I'm scrolling through your Twitter feed right now just to see some of the updates. I see Jerome from Cometh met up with you, and Ernie from Orium Guild. So that's great. They're doing a lot of building.
Yeah, it was interesting. I got into a conversation. I think his name was Mark. I have his business card, but Animoca Brands. He's a Web 2 game designer, and we were talking about how you guys brought on a new game designer that's just experience, and how just the culture difference, and what his job is, kind of branching the Web 2 aspects of gaming to the Web 3 aspects, because there seems to be like a divide, like of information on the other sides, like the opposite sides, where like the devs don't get the game design and the game design doesn't get the cryptonomics, tokenomics aspects of it.
Yeah, that's definitely like a tension that the Web 2 game developers coming into Web 3, need to deal with, and then the Web 3 guys also need to figure out how to make like good games that utilize NFTs with all the different challenges that those bring, and using them in the right way. NFTs are just a tool. They're a way to. There's a lot of things you can do with them, but they got to be wielded properly.
Yeah, when worlds collide. So that guy's got a fun job, I bet.
The game designer. I also would add that it made me kind of understand the move with Gotchi Guardians a lot better, because I saw a lot of companies that are doing something similar, but they're less like, their NFT side of it is not as intensive like as ours. Ours is a deep rabbit hole, but they're developing like mobile games that, like, if you just play them, you wouldn't even realize the free to play version of it is not an NFT game. But if you're into it and you want to go deeper, then that's when the NFT side comes in and you get people onboarded that way. And it's like, so seeing what you're doing with Gotchi Guardians, it's like, oh, this is definitely the way.
Yeah, it's really like, you're not gonna. It's definitely difficult to convert people if the first thing they see is like, oh, you got to buy like a $500 NFT. I even saw, I think it was KG Jan on Twitter the other day. He was really excited about this game, and then he saw like, you got to pay whatever it was to purchase the NFT to start, and he's like, oh, no, not gonna do that. So NFT games gotta also market themselves in the right way, and like, onboarding is so critical.
If KG's not willing to buy an NFT to get started, I mean, who is? It's a problem.
So yeah, it's definitely we're gonna be doing some cool things with Gotchi Guardians. I think that hopefully will help with the onboarding. And really, what you want to do is, NFTs are awesome, but again, they're like a tool, right? So if you make them the entire thing, there are a lot of people out there, gamers, like hardcore gamers, don't like NFTs. And the best way to convince them is like getting them hooked without them really even realizing that there's NFTs involved. Yeah, foreign Gotchi. Yeah, if it wasn't for Gotchi lending and guilds, wouldn't be a Gotchi owner today. Exactly. Like you gotta make it as easy as possible for people to play the game without having to spend a ton of money. I mean, there's a percentage of players that like will later after they enjoy it, but you gotta give them a taste of what the possibilities are before you tell them to like fork over $500.
Well, I'd say I also like the approach of fake gotchis and the IRL merch, because when we were at the Magic Eden event, which was like in a boutique, but like I'm driving by it now on Orchard, a boutique spot, like in like this very fashionable neighborhood that every store is fashion stuff, and Krypton Goons had stuff. I bought one of their shirts, and it just looked cool to see, like to walk into a store and see all of the Aavegotchi gear up on the wall and people are checking it out. And it's like, yeah, there's a brand here as well. So it's like, it's all like a marriage. If you can get, like, if you're like developing all those things, like you get the branding part of it so that people, they don't even realize it's like DeFi. What is DeFi? It's just a good looking shirt or hat. Like they, that appeal that Aavegotchi has, it's like, it becomes more tangible when you can walk into a store and see the shirt on the rack. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, totally.